welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing? I am doing good. I am riding my motorcycle. Alright, today's topic, the Ninja 650, and it is all about the Ninja 650 today because, you know, one of my hardest things to do is anytime I think about giving up this bike for, as you guys know, I am thinking of switching up bikes. But I gotta tell you, I am having a really hard time just thinking about the idea. You know, I discussed it with Mrs. K, like, okay, you know what, I'll probably sell my Ninja 650 and go with, you know, like I said before 1,000 times, I do really badly want to buy a zero motorcycle, electric bike. My problem is, I love this bike. I truly love this bike. There's just unbelievable amount of things that this bike is so good at, and I figured, you know what, I'm gonna ask for your help. I'm gonna ask for your opinions, boys and girls, and let's see what you all have to say about it. So please do me this one time, do me a favor and just write me a comment, tell me your opinion. So, and excuse the wind noise because today is kind of windy, and yeah, so I am looking to possibly, and when I say possibly, I mean I really do, I'm taking it seriously, like, you know, selling my Ninja 650 and investing into a bike that I want right now. But then again, I have a problem, and like I said in the beginning, whenever I think about this bike and I go, okay, I can sell this bike, and for the price of this bike, you know, what I get it for it, I can definitely put in a little bit more, put in a little bit more money, and bam, there you go, I got a zero and I'm all good to go. And I really do want a zero, like I said. So I keep thinking about this. So I talked to Mrs. K about it, my wife, and I said, listen, what do you think about the idea? And she's like, you know, I am lucky enough to have a wife where she goes, okay, that's what you want to do, go ahead. Because, you know, I got lucky and I married well. Yeah, I love my wife. So yeah, she's on board. She's like, yeah, go for it, absolutely. So then I said, okay, you know, I'm gonna prepare everything, I'm gonna put it up for sale. So I've been trying to put this bike up for sale like 8 times now, and every time I am about to put it up for sale, I have this thing where I just don't want to. I don't have the heart to sell the Ninja 650. I absolutely love this bike. So I figured, okay, let me kind of balance it out. What are some of the things I love about this bike? Well, obvious thing is I love the stance of this bike. I love the way it presents itself. It's got this, like, you know, here I am. And it's a sport touring bike, so it's not supposed to be like, you know, like a ZX6R, right? It's supposed to be like a sport touring bike, and that's what it is, and that's what I like. I like the sport touring bikes. And this bike makes an amazing sport touring bike. You get the sportiness when you want it, you get the longevity. I can sit on this bike 2-3 hours straight without thinking twice. I really can. It's got an amazing feel. It has just very comfortable, right? And then the other side to it too is, I mean, this thing is just fun to ride. So even sitting on this bike, you know, when you're sitting on this bike and it doesn't feel heavy, I mean, it's not really that heavy, but it doesn't feel heavy. At the same time, when you're throwing it around the curves a little bit, you know, you really get a sense of the grippiness and every detail about it, the way the clutch is, the way the brake is, the way the throttle is, it's all kind of, it all just comes together in this beautiful package. And of course, I don't know, I put a little money into it, not a lot, into making her look the way I want it to look, and so she's just my, I don't know, I'm so damn attached. I'm truly attached to my Ninja 650, and I don't know, it's so difficult for me to put it up. I just don't know how to do it. And like I said, it's not like I haven't, like, I made up my mind, okay, that's it, I'm selling it. Now, I would like to point out that this was supposed to be like a little surprise video for you guys like months ago, guys. Like, we're talking back in like January, it's supposed to be already dealt with. I've been struggling with that idea ever since like late December. So I even teased at it a few times. We're like, you know, there's going to be a surprise coming. I was so sure it's not going to be an issue. I'll sell the bike, I'll get the zero, bam, I can put it out. And it doesn't matter how many times I try, I just can't do it. I'm having such a hard time getting rid of this bike. So now I'm at the point where I'm starting to consider the fact that there's a very good chance I'll never get rid of this bike. You know, like I typically am not the kind of person that gets really attached to anything, right? But like even my 300, I have my 300 was my very first bike, and I still have that bike. But honestly, I would have absolutely no problem getting rid of that bike. I haven't even ridden it all that much. So I'm thinking of selling the 300. There's no point to have it and keep it around if I'm not going to ride her, because ever since I bought the 650, I've ridden the 300 maybe like 5 times in total, or 6 times. And so it's been sitting around. I keep taking it out like every few months, basically just to, you know, put some fresh fuel in there and take care of her, because I still want to take care of her. So yeah, I have my Ninja 300, and that one I don't, you know, I'm not as attached to it, and I thought that'd be the hard one to get rid of because that's my first bike, you know. And then after I bought the 650, this bike is just something else. It just feels amazing, and everything, guys. I don't know about what you guys ride, but for me, like the way I am and the things I like to do, every single darn thing about this bike feels nice. I don't have any complaints, and I know people talk about this and they have their little complaints and all this stuff, but I actually don't. I love this bike. I love the way you can just I love the way you can just mess with it, but it's not so much power that it's not controllable. It's not overkill. You know, I mentioned in previous videos where, you know, you don't need a ridiculous amount of power when you live in a city. You know, and it doesn't even matter if you live in a city or not. But now I'm kind of afraid that I might end up with 2 bikes again. So even if I sell my 300 because I don't use it, and I end up keeping this one and buying I don't know, a Zero, like I said, then now I'm back to having 2 bikes again, and I don't want to have 2 bikes. I don't need, like, we already have a ton of vehicles in our household. We got 3 bikes, the Tesla, and now Mrs. K is she went for her car driver's license, because she has her motorcycle license but no car license. So now she's going for her car license, so we're gonna buy her a car. So that means what? We're gonna have 5 vehicles for a couple, basically. Like, we don't have kids, we only have, well, toys, I guess. But I don't need, like, what's the point of having all these toys? So I figure, okay, like, if she has a bike and a car and I have a bike and a car, I'm happy with that. But if I can't bring myself to getting rid of the 650, then I'm not sure. Should I still buy the Zero, or should I wait until I get tired of this bike? Although I have to admit, I don't know how I'm gonna get tired of this bike, because basically I've only fallen in love with this bike even more since I bought it. So now I'm kind of at a standstill. If I want the Zero, odds are I'm gonna have to keep this bike, because it's gonna break my heart to give her up. But then if I buy the Zero, and then that means basically I'll have this one and the Zero, and that's not what I want. So at least for the time being, I get the feeling I'm gonna end up holding on to this bike until I can bring myself to selling it. It's crazy. I know it is. I'm talking about a bike, man. For some of you guys, I know it makes a lot of sense. For the hardcore, for those of you guys who are hardcore bikers, I'm not a hardcore biker, man. I enjoy riding. You know, I don't do crazy stuff with it. I don't do stunts and all that stuff. And this bike currently offers me everything I need. But I still wanted to buy a damn Zero. So what would you guys do, man? Like, seriously, I know most of you guys don't really like electric bikes and the whole idea of electric bike. So more than likely 90% of you guys will say keep the Ninja 650, and that's pretty much going to be a big chunk of you guys saying that. I could feel that coming in the comments. But I really do like the Zero, right? Ever since I bought my Tesla, I've really wanted an electric bike as well. So now I'm at the position where I don't know what to do, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it. So I guess, you know, you guys can tell me, like, if you are in this position, right, where you're absolutely in love with the bike, do you think I'm being crazy with even trying to sell the bike, since I still love the bike as much as I do? I mean, the bike is young, man. Like, it's a 2017 model. And there's nothing wrong with it. I don't have, like, it's basically got no kilometers on it. It's under 3,000 kilometers on it, so it's not like it's got a lot of kilometers on it. It's basically a brand spanking new bike, you know, even after this time. So Oh man, there's just so many wonderful things about this bike that I absolutely enjoy. I love. Granted, I'm not a big fan of my exhaust, but I mentioned that in previous videos, mainly because it's a bit obnoxious to me. But I mean, aside from that, I love everything else about this bike. It's I don't know. I keep saying, like, I recommend this bike to anyone. Seriously, if you're thinking about buying a motorcycle, I absolutely recommend this bike. It's a wonderful bike. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Just take it for a test ride, you know, and make your own choice for yourself, because there's so much information in forums and online about this bike, and if I would have read a lot of that stuff and taken their word for it, I never would have bought it. And I'm happy I didn't do it. I took it for a test ride, I figured it out, and I fell in love with it, and here I am 2 years later. I still absolutely love this bike. Geez, like, making this video right now for you guys, it's actually making me think maybe I should just keep this bike. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I don't know what to do. Hopefully you guys will tell me in the comments what your opinions are. You guys are really opinionated, so everybody has, you know, wants to give me their opinions in the comments. So this is your chance. I'm asking you guys to give me your opinions, right? So give me your opinions. This time I actually truly want it, and I want to know what you think. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and new videos coming out soon, so stay tuned. And by the way, if you've never seen this channel, please don't be shy. Subscribe, you know, subscribe. That's what that red button is there for, so you can subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to love, ride, explore. Till next time, ride safe, everyone. Bye bye.